Stephen Miller has quickly become one of the most disgusting liars of this administration. I almost wonder whether lying like this is a sickness. Here is Stephen Miller's appearance on Fox News with, I guess, like during the holidays, they bring in kind of second stringer hosts. This is, I think this is Charlie Hurt is this guy's name. Listen to the vitriol that is spewing from the mouth of Stephen Miller.
And you listed a lot of those things, and you know, the lower inflation and gas prices are key to all of that. But there is polling that shows that there remains some frustration among consumers or voters. What does the White House have to do to reach those people or
prepare for this propaganda? This is wild.
Changes so that those people feel better. And obviously they're getting lied to by the media, which has always been a problem for Republicans. But what can the White House do to either fix things so that they feel better or convince them that the situation is better?
Well, I think the most important point of all, and the polling shows overwhelming support for President Trump.
That is a lie. Polling shows Trump's approval lower than any president other than Nixon in the midst of Watergate.
Across every single issue and dimension. But the most important point to hammer over and over again, under Trump 1, no inflation. Biden comes in, devastates the economy.
Now, of course, inflation was up everywhere because of COVID, and it came down dramatically under Biden.
We have double-digit inflation overall from when Biden entered to when Biden left. Prices went up 30% in 4 years. Donald Trump comes back in, and inflation is down to near benchmark rates of 2% within.
Now, remember that inflation has been down to benchmark rates since June of 2023. It hasn't really changed under Donald Trump. It's just remained the same.
Months? How's that even possible? I mean, we knew the man was an economic wizard. But Charlie, how do you get inflation from 30% to almost 2% in a few months?
And of course, he is mixing there. He's talking about cumulative inflation over many years and year over year inflation. Inflation was never 30%. There is almost no truth in there. There is almost nothing that he just said that is true. And this entire program, Nevermind channel, Fox, is constructed to put utter lies out. And Miller has the audacity to act angry and disgusted that everybody's not giving Trump credit for all of this stuff. Here's more of this just garbage.
Possible. Of course it's true. People got pummeled for 4 years of Biden. In every way that a human being can be pummeled. We lived through it for 4 years. COVID lockdowns, crazy spending.
Now, let me remind you that most of what could be considered a lockdown of COVID happened while Donald Trump was in his first term. They love to talk about Biden lockdowns, but Biden inherited guidelines from Trump, and they were loosened during the Biden presidency. It is just a completely rewritten version of history. Finally, Stephen Miller weighing in on the scrapped 60 Minutes piece about Donald Trump's deportation fiasco.
And you have these 60-minute producers who are living in comfort and security in their West End condos, trying to make
their condos
us feel sympathetic for these monsters. Have you seen the tattoos, the face tattoos, the body tattoos on these killers? Would one 60 Minutes producer or writer agree to spend 30 minutes? I'll make a deal. We will pick someone at random that we sent to CCOT, just a random lottery drawing, and they will spend 1 day overnight in your apartment. Who was taking that deal at 60 Minutes? Nobody.
And of course, what does that matter? I don't want to spend a night in CCOT, but I could still identify whether Trump's deportation program is illegal or immoral or unethical. I can still analyze whether this is making the U.S. safer or not. The fact that I wouldn't want to go to CCOT and let a random inmate live in my house doesn't really change anything about the truth of the 60 Minutes statement. Miller is one of the most depraved and disgusting. And he confidently yells as if, how dare anyone challenge anything I say? How are you so stupid you don't already believe everything I'm saying? and there is nothing there. I don't know that there is anyone as morally or substantively vapid as Miller working for Trump. And unfortunately, because he yells and he looks confident, he is very, very effective. You go back to the Fox audience after watching this, I guarantee you at the 30,000 foot level, they would go, yeah, he was really strong. At the micro level, could they actually explain and defend the things that Miller is saying? I don't think so. And it's because it's the vibe rather than the substance. And it is absolutely, it's the Grinch that stole Christmas. We've got a great show for you today. Glad you're here. Appreciate you watching. Stick around for this next video. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you actually see our uploads. You can also catch the full podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.